Hello all and welcome to another charity shop hunt video. And yes, this is quite soon after the last one, and the reason is because I'm going to what I call the superstore sized charity shops again, only about 3 days after the last time I went. Now if you've just seen that last video, you'll know that I go in there and there's nothing. It's been absolutely obliterated. Even the FIFAs and all the Sync Stars are gone. It's been absolutely obliterated. Now that one normally does well for me, normally turns up quite a bit of stuff, so it was quite a surprise at the same time. However, I'm going back 3 days later because obviously with what's going on in the world today, that's a good time for any new stock to recover, shall we say. And basically when I spoke to the guy in there, he said to me, yeah, literally said it's been absolutely manic in here. He said we sold so much, and they had just sold absolutely everything. But at the same time, he's had loads of new stock come in, which he just didn't have time to sort as well. So I'm going back with the premise and the theory that he's got loads of new stock to sort out, that's within the 3 days that I've been away, that he might have had time to replenish that stock, and there'll be something on the shelves there for me to look at and hopefully nab a bargain as well. So yeah, I will nip into the other one as well, the other big one that doesn't really turn up anything, or very rarely turns up anything, the one that I picked up a Dead or Alive DVD in, or it's gaming related. I have since watched it. It's a bit meh. It's not great. It's a bit meh. But it was good to stare at Holly Valance for an hour and 20 minutes anyway. But, you know, they might do, so we'll nip in there as well. I'll do some footage in the usual one, but probably not in the one that turns up nothing as well. And also this video will probably be done over 2 days. I'm going to go into Stortford again afterwards and just have a look around there as well. See if there's a way I can get to those ones in the RSPCA, but I highly doubt it. But at the same time, you know, if you don't keep trying, you'll never succeed. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to have a look around tomorrow anyway. So let's see what we indeed get over these 2 days. So yeah, next shot, your footage you'll see will be me inside that very first charity shop, hoping it's not obliterated and we got some fresh stock to look at. Okay, so wow, last time it was obliterated, this time it was empty. So apart from those two rogue PlayStation 2 games that I saw, it was empty. So those two rogue PlayStation 2 games, you saw me sort of hold them right up to the camera in the video. Well, I did indeed leave with them. Very good reason I left with them. I mean, they were both mint in box. Literally the manuals are both in there, the discs are both in there, and they are both mint as hell. Not even a surface scratch on. Immaculate condition. Now value wise of the two games, you know, that charity shop always charges 50p a game normally, and I say normally because I went to the counter with the two games and the young lad behind the counter, not the usual guy that's always there, young lad behind the counter says, oh, 50p please for both. So yeah, 25p each, little bit of a bargain there. I'd like to think, I was going to say the value of them isn't great. The Medal of Honor game is a 50p game in CX with 10p trade. The Star Wars game is a £1.50 game in CX with 40p trade. So yes, I can actually get me 50p back in trade, but I'm very interested in playing the Star Wars game and giving that a little bit of a bash. Now the other game, yeah, I was going to say Medal of Honor, I've got no real interest in it. However, as to say, a mint in box copy of any PS2 game in this day and age in a charity shop for very little money, I'll pick it up and hopefully someone in the community may want it, like they did with the Need for Speed Most Wanted game that I picked up as well. I was going to say, I kind of pick up for other people that may want games as well, so that's what I've done there. So with that, yes, now I panned around to the right, or you saw a guy in front of the CDs. I thought he was browsing through the CDs. He's actually a member of staff sorting out CDs, and I've kind of now learnt why it was so barren or obliterated last time and absolutely empty this time. He said to me that there's a guy that goes in there sporadically once a week and he literally clears out all the DVDs. So probably cleared out all the games last time as well. And in there, DVDs are basically 10p each. They're listed as 10 for £1, and I would imagine if you just bought a couple, they'd still only charge you 10p each. So he's going in there once a week and wiping it all out. So it's not going to be as as successful, I suppose, there for me every time, unless I get in there on a regular basis. So I'm going to have to go there a little bit more regularly than I have been doing. I mean, I've been there twice this week as well. So there we go. But, you know, I've got a couple of games here, got something out of it. So yeah, that guy does that. So yeah, I was just having a chat with the bloke, and that's what's happened there. So now what I'm doing is that I'm actually walking down the road, heading down the road. I've got a bit of time still to kill while I'm here. I'm going to just nip into Curry's and see what they've got. Going to nip into B&M, see if they've got any gaming related stuff as well, because yeah, I chucked a little bit of footage there. I nipped into Tesco's as well. Just thought I'd have a look, see what Tesco's had. Now Tesco's was always going to be current gen stuff, and it was always going to be top heavy stuff, and it was top heavy stuff. You know, I saw The Last of Us 2 for 50 quid on the PS4. So amazingly, I saw GTA 5 on the Xbox One for 17 quid. Now it's actually £1 cheaper than CEX, so at least you're getting it for a quid cheaper, brand new there. So if you're still in the market for that game, which of all games for a Tesco shop to still be selling, that does kind of surprise me a little bit. And of course above that, all your usual gift cards. So I just thought something extra. I thought I'd throw in there and have a little look. I was never ever going to go in there and buy anything, but yeah, always nice to have a look. You know, picked up myself a bottle of orange Lucozade to refresh myself on what is an absolutely gorgeous day. So yeah, next footage you'll see is hopefully a little bit inside Curry's if I can, and a little bit inside B&M home stores if I can, and we'll see what gaming stuff that hopefully B&M have as well. So yep, next footage you'll see will be hopefully in a couple of those stores. Okay, so I did have every intention of having a little nose inside Curry's just to see what they had. It was all going to be current gen and top price stuff. However, they had some social distancing in practice, and that was that you could only order online and then turn up and pick up your item basically. So I wasn't able to go in there and have a nose around, but as I say, it was only going to be current gen stuff, so I wasn't that interested, to be honest with you. But nipping into B&M and hoping to find some gaming stuff. Found more gaming stuff than I expected. All those headsets there. I am kind of in the market for a new headset, so I'm very much wondering if they were good prices or not. So if you know, yeah, please drop a comment in the section below and let us know if they were good prices for a headset, and if there's any there that I should perhaps invest in changing the one that I currently own. But yeah, also had a nose up the toy aisle. Always got to have a nose up the toy aisle to find gaming related stuff, and I try to focus in on a couple of bits of gaming related stuff when I saw it. I did miss a couple, so I'll try and insert the images that I've taken of those. They're both Sonic related items that they were kind of cool, but not something I bought. So you would have seen me take a long nose at a dual pack of Funko Pops. So I've seen that pack in the past before, and I was always like, well, it'd be cool to have the Chun-Li, but I'm not going to pick up it for the sake of the fact it's got Captain Marvel in it and be a bit of a waste. So did I indeed pick it up? Well, you saw it was reduced because it only had one in it. So yes, indeed, I did decide to go for it. So yes, pop figure, £4 because one was missing. One was missing and they took £3 off. It'd be nice if they took £4 off and made it £3, but there we go. Or just half the price to £3.50 perhaps. But yeah, £4 for a Chun-Li. I've now got two. I've literally just picked up a Chun-Li to go in the collection. Also, I just picked up a couple of these little blind boxes here. They were £2 each. These are gonna go in my 3 blind bag series. A Spider-Man type one, a Toy Story 4 type one. So yeah, there we go. Nice to just to add some to that series there. And I say, pretty cool to get another variation of Chun-Li to go in my Females of Fighting Games little display area I've got in my gaming setup. So with that kind of wraps up my day here in Harlow, visiting that big charity shop, and wow, wasn't that just empty, as I say, but at least I left with something. So yeah, that wraps up my day here in Harlow Town. It's off to Bishop Stortford tomorrow morning. Hopefully we can get a couple of more little bits. Hopefully we can get something from the charity shop. Might be able to get into the RSPCA, but for today it's time to say good day to you, and please join us in the rest of the video for part 2 within one video, and join us in Stortford for a little bit more hunting and hopefully finding some more gaming stuff. Okay, so a little bit of an edit going on here. It's not day 2, but a couple of hours had gone by, and I thought, well, I've got to walk past it to go home. I'm going to nip in that big charity shop again and just see if anything's put out. And as you'll see by the footage, a little bit had been put out, and I've left with a couple of games. Sadly, it wasn't the same young lad on the counter as before, but this time I had to pay 50p each game, but honestly, totally happy with that. So the 2 games that I decided to pick up this time round, Time Splitters. Now, Time Splitters is a £2 game in CX, I believe, with 60p trading, but that's one that's definitely staying in the collection. However, one that I have picked up for trade, if I can sort my fingers out a bit, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. This is an £8 game in CX with £3 trade, and that's exactly where it's going. So that was well worth popping in again on the way back. Never walk past a charity shop if you've got time and a decent amount of time has passed. So there's a little bit of a lesson, not just for everybody, but for myself as well. That was well worth just popping in again. So next time I talk to you and show you some footage, it really will be Saturday morning, but well worth popping in for a quid spendage on these 2 games. So yep, speak to you Saturday morning. Now it really is day 2. I'm still at home, but I'm getting ready to go to Bishop Stortford, and I'm getting ready because I'm putting together my CEX trade pile to take with me, and that is because I like to wait until I've got a few games, which I have, and I like to wait until I've got at least £10 worth of trade credit, which indeed I have. Now, one of these games you'll have seen literally seconds ago in the video, in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. So the trade credit that I should get for these is, if I've done my calculations correctly, we've got 3, 6, 9, 12 £1 for Call of Duty Black Ops on the PS3, making 13, and the DS title Imagine Babies is £1.20, making me a total of £14.20. So we're going to bung those in the bag here. We always go to CX anyway, but we're definitely going to CX. We're going to trade these in, and hopefully that is after we've found some bits in some charity shops as well. So with that, let's get these in the bags, and I'll get off to Stortford. Right, so I am in Bishop Stortford now. I've got my bag of bits to trade into CEX. But obviously we're going to head into the charity shops first. Hopefully we can add to the pile as such. So we'll head to the one I like the most first. And then we'll head over to the RSPCA and hoping in some way it's open or I can perhaps get to those games that were in the window. It's a little bit of a long stretch, but you know, I will try. I'll go over there and just check. Apart from that, and going into CX, we'll nip into B&M as well. So we went to the one yesterday, the big one in Harlow, which is more of a superstore sized one. But we're going to head into the one in Stortford, which is much smaller. Now, I'm fully expecting they're just going to have the same sort of stuff, but you know, we'll have a look in there and we'll have a little compare, and you never know what might turn up, you know, like the reduced twin Funko Pop pack that I got in Harlow. But with that, let's head into the charity shops now, and then into B&M, and then finally into CEX, and have a little bit of a games hunt day in Stortford. Okay, so I've done the two charity shops that I was hoping to do. I went in the first one, which I always go in, and as you'll see, it was pretty much, well, the same as last time, minus actually a couple of bits. I thought about picking up World Rally Championship 2 Extreme, but it was only 50p game in CX, and then when I opened it up, there was no manual, which is bad for starters, but flipped the disc around, absolutely scratched a high hell. So I did leave that behind. That would have just been for me, though. There's nothing else really there of any worth, but I went round to the RSPCA and it was indeed open, as you'll see by this pile of games here. Now, I did quote in the last one that there was a FIFA 17 in there. That was good trading, that would have taken, and I've done exactly that. That is fine, there's no markings on the disc or anything, so CX will take that. That's going to be £6 trading, so I've gone from £14.20 to £20.20 now. They did indeed have the copy of Naughty Bear that spied through the window. Now, this is a £4 game in CX with £1.60 trading, but I will be keeping. It's a nice mint copy of the game as well, so that one is going in the collection. And then finally, I mean, I had no intention of picking this up, Guitar Hero Live. Now, they charge £1.50 per game in there, so I'm already making me money back in credit with this bad boy here. But I was tempted to pick this up even though I don't have the guitar, and that's still a problem for a later date. But again, it was mint condition, but I opened it up and it had the little dongle inside as well. So that was absolutely fantastic. So I think for £4.50, these three games got more than trade back with FIFA 17, one for the collection, well, two for the collection, so that will go in the collection, and one day I'll get the guitar hopefully to play that with. So there we go. So it was worth coming out in the end, but only just. That first charity shop wasn't that much good. So we'll have a little nose around B&M home stores now, see what gaming stuff they have in comparison to the big store in Harlow, and then we're going to trade these bad boys in and perhaps leave with something from CX. I don't know. Don't think there's going to be a lot of point me filming in there, because I can't imagine it will have changed much from last time, as I was only there on Monday. So if you want to see footage from inside CEX in a bit more detail, then please check that video out. But let's go to B&M home stores now and have a mosey around there. Now, I know I said there probably wouldn't be much point in filming CX because not much would have changed, but I thought I'd throw this little clip in here anyway. So I go in straight over to the retro section and it hasn't changed at all from the last time that I was in there. If you do want to see what games there are and what prices there are clearly, do check out the July 27th video. You can see them in that. Always straight over to the PS2 games and the T section because I'm still in the market for a Black Label Tekken 4 and 5, which I keep checking for and cannot find in there. Okay, so done in Stortford for the day. As I said earlier, the first charity shop had nothing new, in fact less than last time. A few bits were missing that I left behind. And then the RSPCA was open and I got those bits, which was a little bit of a score. So really pleased about that. So we traded stuff into CX, including the FIFA 17. They took that. What they didn't take was one of the PlayStation 2 games, the SSX Tricky game. They didn't take that. So I lost £3 off the total, but I still had a £17.20 voucher, which I did spend. Also nipped into B&M. You'll see from the footage there, a lot of this stuff was the same sort of stuff as before, certainly with regards to the headsets and stuff like that. They all seem to be looking the same. Saw an Xbox One wired controller for 25 quid, which you'll notice me nosing at. I didn't think that was too bad of a price. Toy section, pretty much the same as before. They had those twin Funko Pop packs, you know, the one that I got a Chun-Li out of because one was missing. I had it reduced, as you saw earlier. And the twin pack of Mega Man looked pretty cool, and Mega Man in that looked pretty cool. The other figure had no interest to me whatsoever, but at the same time I'm not too bothered about getting that Mega Man. Now, before I did go to CX, I did nip in another charity shop that had reopened, but as you saw from the very short clip, that was all DVDs. But as I say, I did go to CX, traded in a load of stuff, but I decided rather than save the voucher, I'd have a little bit of spend up. So I've got some pickups from CEX to show you. So when I find somewhere to park my arse, we'll be doing that shortly. I bought 20 quid's worth of stuff, or £21 worth of stuff, so I had to spend £2.80 of my own money, but that is no hardship. But with that, it's time to get on the train and go home, but find somewhere to indeed show you the pickups that I got from what was not too bad of a day out, to be honest with you. Okay, so at the train station waiting to go home, and I've got about a 20-minute wait before a train that stops where I live actually arrives. So with that, let's do the pickups live from a train station. And yes, as I say, I had £17.20 worth of voucher in the end. They did reject one, so I had to fork out £2.80 of my own money, but still these games haven't technically cost me that much if you take into account what I pay for the games that I traded in. Anyway, first I've got a PSP type. We've got Crazy Taxi Fair Wars. Now, I don't collect for the PSP as such, I only buy stuff that I want to play, and a bit of Crazy Taxi on the go massively appeals to me, as I'm a massive fan of Crazy Taxi. I've got it on the Dreamcast and that is just beautiful, so very much looking forward to giving that a bash on the go. And of course, even though I don't technically collect for the PSP, it's still got to have its manual because it's still in the games collection as such, so everything's got to have a manual to be in good condition, and that is. Okay, so next up, just a little quid game there, Supreme Commander. One I don't see around a great deal, but in fantastic condition, and again, of course, it is complete in box with an absolutely really minty manual, so that totally sold it for me. I mean, even if I wasn't spending a voucher for a quid, I would have totally picked that up all day long. As I say, I'm going for the full power set, so any game that's a quid or less that isn't a sports title, if I see it and it's in great condition, I'm going to pick it up. You know, it's no money at all, so yeah, really pleased to have that one. And then finally, a little bit of a big purchase, but as I say, I'm trading in stuff, so technically there's no way I've paid that, but £15 of my voucher was used up on Dragon Ball Z Budokai HD Collection, the first Dragon Ball Z game I now physically own for the Xbox 360. And like I said, I always check that the manual's in there before I even take it to the counter, not even taking a risk, but there's another little extra bit of paper in there, so it's nice and fully complete as such with that extra bit of paper in there too. So really looking forward to giving that a bash. I think it looks like it's a one-on-one fighter, which is totally my bag as well, and as I say, I just don't see it around that much, so really pleased to basically kick off buying some of the Dragon Ball Z games, because there are quite a few for the 360, and really pleased to have that one. So all in all, I'm quite pleased with my day out. I've already said that once, I do believe, and as I say, that picking those games up in the RSPCA was really good, to add another £6 with that FIFA 17 for trading, which ultimately led to me getting a nice chunk of money off this. So yeah, really pleased with that. So the couple of days, they've been fun, I've enjoyed it. I hope indeed you have enjoyed the footage that I've shared with you. As I say, I like doing these live out and about videos, so if you do like them, please give us a thumbs up, because it's certainly strange sometimes getting talking to yourself in public and getting a few odd funny looks, but I don't care, it's well worth it. I enjoy doing it. So yeah, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the thumbs up. That just leaves me to say now, thank you very, very much for watching, and as always, please do Take care.